This video is on molar relationships from a chemical formula. This is number 6 on our list of these different things you should be able to do in this chemistry unit. So we're looking at a formula here, K2CrO4, potassium chromate. And we're looking to find out what are the relationships between these different elements that make it up. So if I ask you this, if I have one atom of K2CrO4, how many atoms of K do I have? Well, I have a 2 in this formula, so that means I have 2 atoms. So what about if I ask you how many atoms of chromium do I have? Well, there are no subscripts here, so that means there's a 1, so I have 1 atom. And I'm sure you see for oxygen, how many do I have? Well, I got a 4 as a subscript, so it'd be 4 atoms. So we're saying that in one formula unit of potassium chromate, I'm going to have 2 Ks, 1 Cr, and 4 Os. So we're going to take that same concept and we're going to translate it over to moles now. So if I have 1 mole of K2CrO4, I want to know how many moles of potassium do I have? Well, the same ratio, that there's 2 potassiums inside that K2CrO4, so therefore I'll have 2 moles of potassium. How about for chromium? For chromium, I have, again, there's only a 1 there, so I'll have 1 mole of chromium. How about for oxygen? Well, oxygen, I have 4, so it'll be 4 moles of oxygen. So the basic point is that in order to make 1 mole of these potassium chromates, I'm going to need 2 moles of potassium, 1 mole of chromate, and 4 moles of oxygen. And all of that together will give me 1 mole of my potassium chromate. So let's do this in a problem setting. They ask you to determine the number of moles of potassium ions in 1.5 moles of potassium chromate. So I know that I have 1.50 moles of K2CrO4. And I want to get to moles of potassium. Well, of course, you remember the units transfer down. So I will have moles of K2CrO4 here. And I go back to my ratio. What's the ratio here? Well, if I'm looking at potassium and my compound, it's going to be a 2 to 1. So 2 goes there, 1 goes here. 1.5 times 2, I multiply these guys. So I get 3 moles of potassium. If instead of potassium I had oxygen, I would do the same thing. I would have 1.5 moles of K2CrO4, and I know that I'm going to need to multiply that by the ratio of oxygen to total. And again, we look at we have oxygen here. Here's our compound. So therefore, it's going to be a 4 moles of O in 1 mole of K2CrO4. So 1.5 times 4 will give me 8 moles of oxygen. Same concept if I have a polyatomic ion here with strontium nitrate. If I want to know the moles of oxygen in this, so 2.0 moles of SrNO3, 2, and I'm going to multiply that by, again, the ratio of these guys. You see here that I have 6 oxygens, right? 3 of them to make up 1 nitrate and a 2 on the outside. So it's going to be a 6 mole of oxygen to 1 mole of SrNO3, 2. So 2 times 6 would give me 12 moles of oxygen. Hopefully that will make sense. If not, I would encourage you to take a look there at 10.3 and work on these practice problems here, numbers 29 to 33.